What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. To recap the big deal that went down between the Minnesota Wild and the New Jersey Devils that sent Marek Zidlicky to Jimmy Hoffa's burial place. Haha, very funny. I thought, oops, never mind, fuck that. And sent a boatload of players back to Minnesota. I think the key piece of this trade, the consensus on the key piece in this trade for Minnesota is 22-year-old Nick Palmieri. American kid, played for the Erie Otters and Belleville Bulls, the OHL. He's a power forward. He's got some upside. He's got 60-point upside. They're saying 30-30. So he's a tough kid. He can score in and around the net. He's played 78 games in the show over the last 3 years and has 25 points, including 7 points on the year with the Devils in 29 games. He, I like his upside, but upside potential are two French words. I mean, I haven't done shit yet, so it kind of, isolates that. But I like the deal from New Jersey's point of view. They're also sending Curtis Foster and Stefan Veilleux, two former Minnesota Wild players, back to the state of hockey. Curtis Foster, as many of you know, had the serious leg injury in Minnesota. Ended up here in Tampa. It was pretty good with the Lightning for a year. I don't know why they didn't push to re-sign him. But then he ended up in Edmonton, Anaheim, and now New Jersey, and now he's back to Minnesota. I think he's one of those players that'd be more comfortable playing back in Minnesota because, with the exception of that 1 year in Tampa, he really wasn't the player he was in the past after he left. Now, part of that is with the leg injury that, threatened his career. But, he's too good of a player to, play the way he has lately. And, I think he's really going to help Minnesota's power play. And, I mean, him over Zidlicky, let's be honest. And Stefan Veilleux, another player that ended up in Tampa for a year, and didn't do too much. And then now he was played in SM Liga in the Swiss League last year, and was in New Jersey's AHL team, so he's really a wash. But Zidlicky, he's a pretty good player. He's I think minus his stats are awful. Let's look at his career numbers. He's got 14 points on the year, 41 games with the Wild, and is a -6. And let's see what his career plus minus is. Minus 45. He was a Rangers draft pick. Come up with Nashville. Nashville traded him to Minnesota for Ryan Jones in a second back in July of 2008. And, that was one of Nashville's smartest trades. They gave up on Ryan Jones too early, I think, because he's still a good kid that can score. And played gritty up in Edmonton. But, they knew they had Shea Weber coming up, and that year, the next year was the year Shea Weber established himself as a preeminent defenseman in the NHL. So dumping Zidlicky really didn't hurt them in any way. And he's been pretty good in Minnesota. 42 points, 43 points, 24 points in 46 games last season. I think they say he's fourth all-time in defenseman scoring for the Wild, which when your team's been around for 10 years, it isn't saying much. Had 5 assists in 5 games in the Olympics for the Czech Republic. And back in 2010. So, he's played well on the international stage. And he's got 6 points in 14 playoff games. Second-round pick on back to the Wild. That's not a part of it. Any conditional third-round pick if New Jersey makes the conference finals. And Zidlicky plays 75% of their games in the first 2 rounds. So, I like the deal for both sides. New Jersey's power play is 19th in the league, so it's the bottom half of the league. Put him on the point with Kovalchuk. I think he'd be pretty good. And I think Minnesota's doing the right thing. You need Palmieri. You need some. They got a deeper prospect pool than they have in many, many years. With Granlund and Coyle and Zucker and Phillips and Hackett and the Swedish goalie, whose name's escaping me. And then Palmieri to that mix. The second round pick to that mix. They're all right. They'll be all right for years to come. They've stumbled since being, I think they had the best record in the NHL for like a week back in December, and they've really struggled since then. But if the win against the Bruins the other night was any indication, they'll be forced to be reckoned with for years to come. I think now they've got some good young talent in the organization, which they haven't had before. They're in better shape than they have in a long time. And like I said, with New Jersey, after missing the playoffs last year, and a team that's more or less in bankruptcy, and it's going to lose its best player on July 1st. Now's the time to make a run. And, see what happens. I think Zidlicky's going to kickstart the power play and make them, force to reckon with offensively. That's all I got for the power play with CJ, recapping the Marek Zidlicky to the New Jersey Devils trade. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season. Later, guys.